In this video, Lucas Cullison takes us through his progressions on how he teaches the snatch. Lucas is a fellow high school strength and conditioning coach here in Fort Wayne, Indiana at Northside High School. He's also a competitive weightlifter and an all-around good dude that knows a lot about Olympic weightlifting.
What I end up doing for our snatch, the first thing I have us do, right? And we might not start. We'll start with PVC pipe, but for the sake of teaching it right here, we'll go with the bar. So hand grip, what I like to have kids do is, find a spot where when you pick the bar up, that bar is in that power position, right? In that hip crease, right? And if that bar is like lower down here, right? We just got to move our hands out. If the bar is way up here and your belly, right? Just bring it in a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So kind of right across where that pelvic bone is, right? Somewhere in that area. It doesn't got to be flawless, right? But that's kind of what I'm looking for here. So first thing I'll do is we'll pick up the bar from the rack. Okay. All right. We'll walk it out. All right. Now, what I like to teach is a kind of just an overhead press, a behind the neck overhead press. Feet, I like to keep feet outside the hips a little bit. Keep some good stability there. All right. Chest up, big breath, squeeze the butt. All right. Now, all I'm trying to get them to do is really just to get to this overhead position. Okay. Now, if we might do some behind the neck presses for a while. That's pretty hard for a kid to do. So we'll add in maybe a dip and press just to get here, and we'll hold. I just want a good overhead position where that bar is in the middle of the head and they're just being able to hold right here. And I'm cueing, pressing up, keep pressing the ceiling. I'm not shrugging, right? But I'm telling them to press, right? And we're just going to hold that for a little while. Okay. Keep our core tight, breathing through it. Keeping our keeping our feet outside the hips. We're going to hold that for a while, bring it down. We'll rack it. Okay. So you want to get on the bar, see how that feels, right? So we're going to make sure we have good overhead position before we start doing anything else. Yeah. We'll hold it and I'll walk through and I'll say, hey, make sure we're here. Press, 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 press. If we got any bending right here, that's not good. We want to be pressing all the way to the ceiling, right? Knuckles to the ceiling. A lot of kids will want to be a little bit forward. Some kids will really press back like that. I just really want the bar above the head in a good position that feels good, right? Because if you're going to press it and hold it, way back here, it's probably not going to feel comfortable, right? So I don't really emphasize. We could probably tighten back here, right? So good, and bring it down. At this point, when we're progressing here, right, doing some overhead presses, right, once we get that position down, and then essentially we'll just progress from there into a behind the neck push press. So bend the knees, press. And here I'm really cueing legs, right? Legs, then arms, legs, then arms, right? Legs, then arms, boom. Okay. Big breath, squatting down, dip, legs, then arms, bring it back down. So we'll do that. All right. If you want to get a couple reps in, do maybe five shoulder presses, 5 push presses. And this is kind of the same. We can do complexes like this where we'll do 5 presses and then 5 push presses. And for you, I would probably go a little bit wider. I'd bring it down a little bit. So bring it down and then adjust.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
About here?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Legs first, keep that chest up. You want a good vertical posture here. So you don't want to be bending over a little bit. You don't want to be hinging too much. You just want to have those hips back enough to be able to use the glutes. Good. Now remember foot pressure we talked about in the clean. Make sure you got good foot pressure in the middle. Good. We're still cueing. Elbows up, elbows in right here. I'll come through and right. Make sure we're nice and locked out. So once we're strong overhead and stable overhead, we'll move into a snatch balance or a push jerk, a behind neck push jerk. Okay. So we'll get here, right? Now I'm really asking them to jump up and press, right? And catch in a good power position. So we're here, we're dipping, boom. Now we're adding a dip to it a little bit. Dip, catch it in a little bit lower position, a good athletic position. Dip, Good. And what I'm wanting them to do, I want them to catch high, all right, push high, catch high, right? What I mean by that is I don't want them to push themselves way down here, because a lot of what you'll see is just like in the clean, they'll push themselves under too fast and the bar will crash up here, right? So if they can catch it high in a good stable position, right, while still getting down, that's what I'm looking for, all right? So that's our next progression is a push jerk. Eyes up, chest up, a little dip. Emphasize jump and punch. Yep. And that's good. Like if a kid's doing that, I'm not asking them to get right here, be crazy. That's just fine right there. I'm not gonna spend too much time trying to fix that, because that's probably not going to be the biggest problem that we run into.
As far as the feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if their feet are already in a good spot, that's all I'm asking for right now. All right. Good job. Let's just say we've been working our overhead squat, right? We're going to go into our snatch balance after we do our push jerk. So we're here, bend the knees, boom, catching it. Right? Pressing up through the legs first, then arms, punching. Just go ahead and give me a push jerk into the front, overhead squat. Yeah. Eyes up, eyes up. Don't look down, because if you look down, if you look down, you're going to go down. It's kind of like driving, right? Right? You're going to look down, you're going to go down. So eyes on that black stripe. There you go. Keep punching, elbows, make sure these are tight. It's going to give me one more. Yep. Good. Not bad. Just like we talked about with the power clean, the snatch, we'll do our second top down, our top down V, right? And that is the same thing as the hang clean, right? It is working top down from the power position to the knee, okay? So all we're going to do here, shoulder blades back, same thing. Slightly bend the knees, we're scraping the knee, standing back up. We're just getting really good at holding the bar in this position, because this is going to be a lot harder on your upper back. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to grip. Going down, same thing. Looking for that foot pressure in the middle, bend the knees, down the knee, stand back up, right? And I'm really wanting you to keep that bar on the thighs into that hip position, right? And from here, shoulder blades, chest and shoulders, guys, stay over the bar the whole time, right? Even when you're up here, I'm not looking for you to get here, okay? Anything like this where you're here, okay? When you're going up and you're here, that bar is going forward. And when the bar goes forward on the snatch, it is not fun, right? So you're here, staying over the bar the whole time. So make sure your chest and shoulders stay over the bar while you're doing your snatch grip RDLs. Yep. Foot pressure in the middle. Now with the snatch, you could probably add a little bit more of a squat to it when you do it. But that, if you're doing a good RDL like that, I'm not gonna emphasize it. I'm gonna let that be what you're doing, because that's good. The only thing I would say is you're kind of getting away. When you do your RDL, I can see that you can move your toes, keep your toes down. You shouldn't be able to lift up your toes. Foot pressure in the middle. Good. Yep. Now, right now, you're behind the bar. Your shoulders behind the bar, so make sure you're out right there. Good. Nice. Yep. And you can lock out the extension, hip, knees, and ankles if you want. Yep, that's good right there. Good. Oof. You can go ahead and rack it. So the same thing after that, we're going to go straight into a RDL high pull, okay, just like on our power cleans, right? And this can also be used as a complex, right? So we'll go here in an RDL high pull, right? Keep my chest and shoulders off the bar. See, we talked about earlier, I come up with my toes because I've been doing it so long, right? If a kid just here, that's fine, right? Now doing the same thing. Arrows on the forearms, going up. Elbows got to stay by the wrists. Keeping that bar nice and tight. Arms straight. Make sure your arms are straight. Good. Yeah. So right here, I would slow you down a little bit, right? Because what's happening is at the top, you're getting way out here.
Okay.
right? And you're going real fast, okay? So let's just slow it down. Slow on the way down. That's going to reinforce positions more than going fast on the way up. So let's go slow on the way down, just right above your knees. Don't go below your knees here. Yep. Yeah, that's good right there. Now, one thing, if you notice, like your first movement when you do your RDL is like that.
And I'm always like, okay, feet.
Keep that foot pressure in the middle, even as at the top. Feel that foot pressure. Kind of find it, rock back, rock on your heels, rock on your toes, find that foot pressure in the middle, and RDL straight down from there. You're going to feel more tension in your quads that way as well. A lot better. Feel a difference? Yeah.
Almost more stable too.
Yeah. Now in this start position right here, when you're standing up, yeah, there you go. Good. Yeah. Good. Go ahead and rack it. Because like if we get too far into our heels, for sure, what's going to happen every single time is that bar is going to come straight out, because the only place you're naturally, everything is going to want to come forward. Hips, glutes, everything's going to come forward, and that's going to make that bar path go forward, right? We want that bar path going straight up as much as possible. We want a straight bar path, and that's, same thing if we get onto our toes. Right? We get too far on our toes. When you go up, where are you going to go? You're going to go straight back here, and now your bar is behind the back. Bar's going to go forward, right? So now after that, okay, we'll go into now we're going through 4 or 5 weeks of progressions all in 25, 30 minutes. So, now we're going to go into our RDL turnover, our snatch turnovers, right?
Okay.
So typically I don't have kids just go straight here, right? That's going to be kind of hard unless they've been doing it for a while. Okay, would be great. Okay, but what we'll go ahead and do is just do an RDL, okay, and go right into a snatch muscle clean, or muscle snatch, a hang muscle snatch, right? So we're here, punching, getting back in that reinforced position. That makes sense? Same thing, same cues. Okay, elbows tight, right? Big punch at the top. You're gonna have to be a lot more aggressive on your leg drive on the way up, and a lot more aggressive with the arms to get that bar up. And this is something that you can load over time as well. We can load that over time and just really reinforce those positions. Shoulders over the bar a little bit there. Good power position. Yep. All I want is muscle clean. So just stand up real fast, straight up nice and tall. Okay. Not bad. Good. Foot position, foot pressure. Yeah. Let's make one good movement. Boom. Straight up. Yep. So we're kind of getting arm heavy here. Okay. So what's happening is we're coming up and we're using our arms to pull, right? Think legs, arms. Okay. Legs, aggressive arms. Got to be aggressive. Yeah. Feel different?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit too. It's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It just requires a little bit more effort, essentially. It's harder to pull it faster.
Yeah.
Right? It's the best. You're not going to make a good snatch if you're, Olympic lifts. You have to be violent, right? So make sure you're violent, really pulling. Legs first, then arms, really punching the arms. Good. A little arm heavy there. Little arms. Keep the arms straight until you're done extending with the legs. Okay? Fully extend with the legs, then punch arms. Good. Go ahead and rack it. Got a little happy in the heels there a little bit. We'll do the same thing where we're doing a hip snatch, right? All right, so we're here, keeping our chest up, shoulders above the bar, driving through our legs, punching. Okay? Now you really got to jump and use the hips. Okay? We're jumping vertical though. We're trying to get vertical using the legs. Boom. Punching. Okay? So that's our next progression before we get into the hang snatch.
Just
Chest
sit down.
Yep.
Okay.
Get that good power position. Let's go ahead and get down into that power position. Bring the hips back a little bit. There you go. Eyes up. Good.
Good position as far as bar, hands. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. Looks good. Yeah. This right here, this drill is really just allowing us to understand how to use the hips at the very top of our extension.
Okay.
All right, because that's where a lot of kids will get lost. Like I said, we talked about earlier, kids will miss the contact with the hips.
Yeah.
This reinforces us using our hips and using our legs and driving through the top part of the lift. Right. So now from here, it's just a hang snatch. Right. Now we're just working the hang snatch. Shoulder blades back, get ready to go, nice and tight. Chest and shoulders over the bar, already up. Boom, punch. Chest and shoulders over the bar, vertical pull, punch. Okay. Just putting everything together we just worked on. Yeah. And this is where I would probably say, hey, let's bring the feet out a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Feel a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very complex and it's a lot going on. And all that can be messed up if we don't have a good starting position. So let's go ahead and put you on the bar. Okay. Good here. Nice here. All right. Elbows straight, knuckles down. Okay. Foot pressure in the middle. Is foot pressure in the middle right here?
Mm-hmm.
Pushing through right there. Eyes up. And we're going to hold. And we're just going to hold that for a good while. Keep that good position. Legs starting to shake a little bit. Love that. You're not even doing anything. You're just holding it and holding that position. So good. Relax. Right. So, we've got to get good here. We got to spend a lot of time there. Just like the overhead position, we got to feel that position, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is, if you don't got to mobility, you got to spend more time working mobility. So what we'll do here is we'll essentially just do our two position pulls again.
It was what, below the knee and above?
So just right below the knee.
Yep.
And right above the knee, lock out. So you got three positions, but we're emphasizing two.
Yeah.
Okay. And now the thing with the snatch, stay over the bar when you're at the very top. Stay chest and shoulders over the bar. Okay. Right. Now the thing is the chest and shoulders, right? You got to stay over the bar. The hips cannot rise faster than your upper back. Okay.
Right.
So emphasize on the legs. First movement is from the legs, not your back. Okay. So go ahead and lift and go back down. Now you noticed, I don't know if you noticed that, but whenever you went, the first thing you did was you went back a little bit, right?
Like shoulders back?
The first thing you did right here was went right.
Oh,
so the first movement was boom, boom.
Okay.
Right, so what that did right then and there was that pulled that bar right in the shins. Now it's going to be a little bit harder to pick up the bar. Right?
Okay.
It was very little, but that's what's going to happen.
Okay, I go. Okay.
So let's make sure you got that foot pressure, chest and shoulders over the bar. Make sure we're really tight. Get that nice and vertical. Maybe drop your hips just a little bit more. Eyes up. Good. Let's go ahead and pick it up. Good. Up. Good. Up. Good. Now. Yeah. Chest up. Make sure make sure we're flattened out here. Make sure that chest and shoulders still over the bar. Good. Go ahead and put the bar down. Good. Let's do it a couple more times. Foot pressure. Go ahead and lift. Lift. Finish. Good. Now you can still, you don't have to do, I want no one else to necessarily do this, but just kind of stand up. You can lock out the legs. There you go. That's good right there.
Okay.
Yep. Because what's going to happen is if we get to a point where we're getting here, right? We got really no activation from our glutes or anything like that, right? So we're done extending at that point. So we need to make sure we're here so we can, what's going to naturally happen is you're going to get a double knee bend, right? So you're here, boom, right? But if you're already double knee bent here, right, in that position, it's kind of hard to kind of go from there, right? It's all pretty much at that point, it's all like a static movement or all concentric from whatever muscles are left back there, right? So let's go one more. Yep, maintain that position right there. Go up. Yes, perfect. That's the best one. Up. Perfect. Finish. Yeah, you can go ahead and stand up a little bit more. There you go. Good. Now, just like we did on the clean, we'll do our tempo snatch deadlift. Tempo snatch deadlift. Remember, this is probably, we're going to do this on maybe a Monday. Could be a Tuesday. Just kind of depends on how our outlook or our days look. But this is going to be our bottom up day, and we'll have our top down day later in the week. Eyes up, chest up. Now we're just going to take about 5 seconds to get all the way up to that power position. So here we go. Whistle, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Back down. Now, if I really want to make it suck, which I've done this before, I'll just give you 5 seconds on the way back down.
Yeah.
Right? But we don't got to do that today. There you go. Whistle, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. One more. Let's do one more. Whistle, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. Now that we did our tempo clean deadlift, we're going to do our tempo essentially high pull.
Okay.
So it'd be essentially a snatch pull.
Okay.
Right? A snatch pull, snatch high pull. So we'll do our snatch high pull here. Now what I'm looking for, okay, we're down here. All right. Still keep that tempo. When you get to that knee, speed it up a little bit. Boom.
Okay.
Okay. Big high pull, elbows up, arrows on the elbows pointing up. Okay. Get nice and tall. Slow is smooth, which is exactly what you look like right now.
Slow.
Smooth. Nice. So after we do that, we'll go ahead and add in our tempo muscle snatch. Now this can be kind of difficult. All right. So we'll be here. All right. Eyes up, chest up, and we'll start with the tempo. All right. Same thing we just did. Boom, go. Nice, slow to go. Boom. Okay. Emphasizing that top part. Okay. We got our bottom part down. We know our positions in the bottom. All right. We're working through. We can transfer past the knee pretty well. So we need to start adding speed once we get past the knee.
All right.
Okay. So we're going up, speed, boom. Okay. Eyes up, chest up, tempo, speed, boom. Okay. Try not to let the arms bend once you get past the knee. Just make sure the emphasis here is really making sure we have a good pull off the floor and transitioning past the knee. Fast to the hip. Okay. Once you get past the knee, add that speed. Okay. Second part, the second pull past, which is you got the first pull, second pull.
Mm-hmm.
That's where most of your speed is going to come from. If you ever watch those elite lifters where they're like those little guys that are just like, it's heavy and all of a sudden, boom, I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
So.
Woo! Almost had me.
Yeah. Punch straight up. Punch
Okay.
straight up, right? And if that wasn't like a lift, you would have missed that behind you.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's punch straight up.
Okay.
Okay. Going back to that overhead position here. Eyes up, eyes up, eyes up. Yep. Try not to be in your heels so
Yep.
much. Watch the heels.
Yep.
There you go. Rushed it to the knee a little bit. Yeah, rushed it to the knee just a tad bit. So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and move on from here because what's going to happen is once we start doing our power snatch, which is next, when we do our power snatch, when we're catching here,
Mhm.
you're not going to go back as much.
Okay.
You're going to feel a little bit more stable because right now you're punching so far up, you're getting into your heels
Every time. Yeah.
every time. So when we get here, right, with that, we'll bring our feet up and out in that good power position, that quarter squat and overhead,
Mhm.
right? It's going to feel a little bit more stable. So, all right, I really want us to see us get our feet out a little bit. Okay, punch the feet out. So rise up, chest up, nice and set. Tempo. Punching that hold. Now I would say just hold here for a little bit so you understand how that feels. Get a good feel for that position. Okay.
Okay.
So everything we just did, now we're just adding power snatch. Okay. Catch underneath it. Remember the same thing. Pulling high, right? Catching high. Okay. Catch it high so it doesn't crash on you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Try to meet the bar. Right. So we're at the top. Transition through. Meet the bar at the very top. Yeah.
Ooh.
See the feet come out a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Let's do one more, a little bit more tempo. So if I was talking with you, if you were a kid,
Mhm.
I would say, hey, let's go a little bit slower off the floor. A
Okay.
little bit slower off the floor, a little bit more control because we're getting a little bit behind just a little bit.
Okay.
So let's get a little bit better position in the start, better pull from the bottom. It's going to clean everything up top. There you go. Little guy, a little fancy with the arms, but
What'd I do?
bend it a little bit
Ah.
early. That's fine. That's okay. Doesn't
Yeah.
got to be perfect. Nice. Perfect. That's it. I mean, that's pretty much it.
He said perfect. I'm done.
That's good. I mean, that would be good enough for me. I would not be worried about, at that point, it's the little stuff.
Mhm.
If I got a kid and we're here and they can do a power snatch, then I'm not worried about a whole lot of other things and just fixing up little things here, little things there.
Yeah.
And then it's, the little nitty gritty stuff over time. And that's it.